All right, we're back here, everybody, here at the Adrenaline iRacing Cup Series here at the Kansas Speedway, as we have our top three finishers here tonight on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Man, what a race it was for 160 laps here. First up, we have our third place finisher, Bronson Stafford. So let's go ahead and pull Bronson up here and see what his thoughts are tonight on getting third. Hey, Bronson, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, man.
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, Bronson, man, well, I tell you what, great run for yourself here tonight in the 61, man. I tell you what, early in the race, me and Sam were up, we kind of got caught off guard when all of a sudden you popped into the top 10 later in the race because we kind of had almost hadn't seen the 61 for most of the race almost. And then all of a sudden, man, you got to the top 10, you just kept going forward. So, how did you end up putting yourself up into that top three later in the race?
Yeah, when we finally got going green after the lap 40 restart or whatever, I decided to just back up like 6-7 seconds, try and save some tire. And right before pit stops, I was running as quick, if not a little bit quicker than Jump and DeWeese, but I was 6.5 seconds behind. But I was catching everyone else still like third on back. So we're just kind of rolling with that, run it dry, pit as late as possible, and we only lost I think 2 spots, and we were able to come back, get fourth before yellows and all that stuff. So we got the late yellow, restarted up there, and just kind of I was by my time in third behind Braxton and Jump, and then I was slowly catching them, and we got another yellow, and I figured I was going to be in a tough one to finish off on the top side with it full throttle, and it was tough. Brakey got loose though, and it really gave me the option to try and make a run at it. And just quick shout out. I want to apologize to Stamp. I turned across his nose coming to the checkered flag. I thought he was going lower to follow Jump's draft more, and I just turned down on the apron to try and defend it, but he didn't go down all the way. So ruined him out of the top three. We would have been 2-3 instead of 3-4. But good race overall.
Yeah, it was really fun to watch up here in the booth, man. And one thing, it was like the dynamic of the lines here. And like you said, on that short run there, you had the deal with the outside line, which you didn't feel like was going to be the best. You ended up making the most out of it there, and getting back into position, almost the fight there with a chance. But man, how was the dynamic of like the lines changing around? Because we've seen guys, moving from top to bottom pretty much throughout the whole night.
Honestly, this track's worse than it was before. Instead of being high side on the wall, if you ran off the bottom, you were a tenth or 2/10 lap slower. It was silly. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe it was a slight combination. I think the setup we have for this build right now is a day setup, so I think it was made more for higher track temp. So I think that's why we had so much grip maybe on the bottom. But regardless of that, it never really moved up. You could try and move up, try and get runs off the corner, but he couldn't really pass someone unless they got loose. Which that was probably the bigger thing. Off of turn 2 and 4, the cars would start getting loose after about 15, 20 laps, and you just had to take advantage of that and try and not get loose. You'd be able to get a couple spots pretty easily.
Oh, that's great information for us up here in the booth, man. I tell you what, that's a great insight there, man, and it lets us really know what's going on there. It definitely different than before. We're used to seeing Kansas right against the wall. It's definitely tonight now. It seems like the bottom, like you said, was definitely the preferred groove, man. But I tell you what, great finish nonetheless for yourself before we go to the Daytona Road Course next week. Anybody want to send a shout out to for tonight's top three finish, Bronson?
Yeah, Luminary guys. We had some bad luck with Tom there at the end. He got caught up in a wreck, but him and Shane tried a different strategy, and they ultimately they fell behind. We went green when they decided not to take tires, so that's never going to go well. Robert Kenny had a bad run, and hopefully Austin's back next week, so that'll be nice to see. All the sponsors on the car with Sim Speed Shop, Navy, Evil Controllers, G Fuel, just everyone that makes that happen, make it possible, and okay, putting on a great league. Honestly, this is a great place to race. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of talent and ability throughout the field, so it's great to see. And you guys for putting on a broadcast. They've been really good this season, and it's always fun to watch back.
Well, thank you very much, Bronson. Great run here tonight for yourself tonight, Kansas, man. And we will catch you next week at Daytona.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, that was Bronson Stafford. It looks like I think after tonight, he should be able to take the points lead too from Braxton DeWeese. So looks like he'll move himself back into that points lead. But now we'll move ourselves onto the 96 of Atlee Gray with a great second place finish here tonight, and see what his thoughts are on getting that 96 up in a second. Hey, Atlee, Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, man.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Well, I tell you what a run tonight for yourself in that 96, starting in that second or in the 18th position, man. you're able to drive it all the way up the second, but it was a race of up and downs. You kind of came into the picture there, and from lap 100 on, the 96 was up in the top 5, and then it seemed to make a mistake there on pit road, and look, you got into that cone, got a penalty, and man, you rebounded back to that in a second. So how did you end up pulling that off?
Yeah, I honestly don't know. Once I missed that pin entry, I was like, oh, that's probably it. But I just kept at it, and then somehow made it all the way back up. I got the lucky dog, and then caution came out, and somehow made it back up.
Yeah, that was impressive to see, man. I tell you, how does that, coming in tonight, 6 races in, this is 7th race. You hadn't had a top 5 or a top 10 this season. Had a lot of bad luck personally on the 96 side of the season. So how does that feel to finish, second here tonight? Do you think you can get the ball rolling in these final 6 races, possibly have a shot maybe at getting close to that playoff contention?
I would like to hope so, but you never know what's gonna happen. It's oval track racing. That's just how it is. But we'll see. I'll just keep at it and see what we can do.
Yeah, man, I tell you what, that was great to see tonight from yourself. A great rebound. That's mostly.
Thank you.
Hitting that cone and then coming back from that to drive the second is got to feel really special and going out there in chat. So thank you to everybody tuning in and watching, man. We appreciate that. But before we let you go, anybody want to say a shout out to for your second place finisher tonight, Atlee?
Shout out to my wife. Always being there for me, letting me do this, and that's about it. Really, just her.
Stuff, buddy, man. Well, congrats on second here tonight, and we'll catch you next week in Daytona.
All right, thank you.
All right, you heard it there from himself, Atlee Gray. Very happy with that second place finish here tonight, first top 5 and first top 10 of the season too. So great way to get some momentum rolling in that 96. But now we'll move on to the man that's got his first career win here at the Adrenaline iRacing Cup Series. Guy who's got so many second finishes. They call him the bridesmaid. This guy's no longer the bridesmaid. He's the beautiful bride. As we got the comment earlier, let's see what Trenton Jump has to say. Hey, Trenton and Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, man?
I gotcha.
I tell you what, man. One of the big questions is how does it feel to win finally, buddy?
How about that? No more bridesmaid.
That's exactly right. We got a comment. I got to tell you in the chat that someone said, if you're no longer the bridesmaid, you're the beautiful bride. So welcome. You're the beautiful bride here tonight, and you're able to bring home the victory, man. How does that feel?
Well, it's been a long time coming. I didn't cry, but I almost did. But yeah, it's been a long time coming.
It definitely has, Trent. I tell you what, man, like each and every week, the 46 just shows speed, consistency. And man, I tell you what, tonight, there was no stopping you, man. I got to ask you there, down at the end, we got a late race caution. How much did that worry you? Because, at the beginning of these runs, it's so hard to hold off people with this package, and you just pulled it off perfectly.
I'm not going to lie, when the caution came out with for whatever, it was 50 laps ago, it was like 10 lap caution, I got pretty mad. I was like, come on. I was like, catch me a break. I'm like, but it's all right. The last caution when it came out, I didn't get too mad because I literally had all my teammates lined up behind me. So it was big help from them.
It definitely was, man. But special win here tonight at Kansas. It was great to see. Me and Sam were having a good time calling it up here, man. And we had a poll even to see if you were going to get that win tonight, and I think the poll actually ended up with most people voting yes.
There we go.
They were on the right side of the call here tonight. Most people called right, man, and it was great to see. But you ran good at Spa. Now going forward into next week, you ran good at Spa. Do you think you can run even better possibly at Daytona next week, since it's more of a track, I guess you could say, maybe you're used to?
Yeah, I think a little bit of practice will help go a long ways. I didn't expect to be that good at Spa, but I know what the situation is going to have to be if I'm in that same situation at Daytona. I can't just sit there and let him go. If I want to try to win, I need to try to make it known that I need to try to win that race. I need to try to make that pass, because if I pass him and then there's other cars, there's a chance he could get caught up and some type of mistake can happen, right? Because it was kind of the same deal last season. He got away, and then the only thing that messed him up was he had a pit road speeding penalty. But I'm sure he's over that hump by now. So we'll take it lap by lap next week, and we'll see how it goes.
Well, man, I tell you what, never know, you can end up 2 times in a row there for your first victory next week at Daytona. It could be something special. But I tell you what, here tonight is very special at Kansas. Before we let you go, Trenton, celebrate this thing for your first victory, man. Anybody wants to shout to?
Yeah, I want to thank Justin at That Color Teal Designs for painting this beautiful car that needs a few updates. But I forgot to tell it for this season. Rowdy Energy, Circle B Diecast, Raise Energy for being a partner of the series. Tanner and the admins, my teammates, of course, for the huge help at the end. And of course, you beautiful souls for broadcasting us. You don't have no clue how much this means to us. So
Well, man, I tell you what, it means a lot for us to be able to call it, buddy. It's been fantastic so far through our first 7 seasons, and I can't wait to watch these next 5 before the playoffs. It's going to be an intense season. You're also all locked into the playoffs, so congrats on that too, buddy.
yeah, a lot less stress going forward now. So nothing but fun events from here on out.
Definitely is, man. Well, I tell you what, congrats on the win here tonight, Trenton. We'll catch you next week at Daytona, and go celebrate this thing.
Sounds good. Thank you, boys.
All right, there you heard it from the man himself. The 46 of Trenton Jump bringing home that first victory here tonight, the Adrenaline iRacing Cup Series. Congrats to him as we pull up our race results here tonight from the Kansas Speedway and go through here.